one time. So this evening katha is taken from the final chapter of Sri Ramcharitmanas. And it deals with the meeting of Hanuman and Bharatji, the brother of Sri Ram. Remember, Sri Ram was banished for a period of 14 years. And Bharat, he went in the Chitakut first and he met Sri Ram there and asked him, brother, please come back home. I will go through this business of this banishment. But Sri Ram, being the kind of son that he was, Sri Ram being the Almighty incarnate, he says, that cannot be. I have to uphold the dignity and honor of my father's word. And under no circumstances will I differ from that. My father's words stand most predominant in my life. He is my God indeed. And he will not change that. So he asked Bharat politely, go and you take charge. And when I return, I will take over. So Bharat said, before he left, he said, my Lord, not even a day should pass when that 14 years are up. Because if it passes and you are not there, my life will not remain in my body. And he meant every bit of that. He doesn't want even one moment to pass after that 14 years are up. So, Sant Tulsidas is given the thinking of Bharat just prior to the coming. The 14 years are up. 1 day is left. And Bharatji is anxiously awaiting the arrival of Prabhu Sri Ram. Tulsidas says, the entire city, as it were, took on a different look. Mother Nature took on a different look. So as to welcome our beloved Lord Prabhu Sri Ram. The trees, the forests, the rivers, everything took on another dimension, a dimension of happiness, of peace, of prosperity, just to welcome our beloved Sri Ram. Tulsidas says that Bharat's right eye began to throb again and again. You know, sometimes you get a sign when your eye begins to beat. You have the left eye, the right eye, whichever beats. So Bharat is saying, my right eye is beating. It is throbbing. And it seems to be a lucky occasion. So soon my Lord will be coming. And like that, he's saying, how fortunate is Lakshman that he accompanied Sri Ram. He was there at the service of Sri Ram all the time, always at his beck and call. How fortunate is Lakshman. He's saying, I on the other hand, I'm not so lucky. And he's thinking like this. But he says, I have a firm conviction in my heart that the omens, omen mean the signs, are very propitious, and that Sri Ram will come today. And thinking like that, I want to begin my lesson from this point. Tulsidas sings in Doha, this is a double Doha. So he sings. please. Ram Biraha Sagar Maha Bharat Magan Manaho. Bharatji, Tulsidas says that his mind was drowning, so to speak, from the separation of Sri Ram. He couldn't think clearly because he needed Sri Ram at all times. And who doesn't need God? Without God, we are all drowning, my friends. Without our beloved Sri Ram, we are all drowning. So Tulsidas says, Rama Biraha Sagar, in separation from Sri Ram, Tulsidas says, he was immersed in thought. His entire body, his entire being was immersed in Prabhu Sri Ram. And Tulsidas says, Bid Prarupadari Pavanasut, Bid Prarup. Rup is form, Bid means a Brahman. Bid Prarupadari Pavanasut. Who is Pavanasut? He is the son of the wind. Pavan is wind, so the sun. The son of the wind. Up came the son of the wind, Hanuman, in the form of a Brahman, Viprarup. Ai Gayau Jimi boat. And like a boat, he came to rescue the drowning earth. And that is the power of Sri Hanuman. Whenever we are in difficulties, let us all invoke that power, that energy called Hanuman. And he will take us from this drowning state that we find ourselves in. We are all drowning, my friends. This world is not what we think it is. We have come here, but we think this is the be-all and end-all. At some point in time, this world will come to an end. But we are all caught up in the glitter and glamour of the world. What the world projects, we believe that is the be-all and end-all of everything. And Bharat, he doesn't think of the world. He's thinking purely of Prabhu Sri Rama. And Hanuman is looking on at Bharat. Bharat does not know that Hanuman is there. Baithe deki kus asan. A kus asan, he saw Bharat sitting on this kus asan. Why is a kus asan? The kus grass prevents rays from penetrating the entire body. So when you sit on the kus asan, you are free from all negative rays. So he's seeing that he, by the kus asan, jata mukuta krishagat, jata mukuta, his eye, his hair is tied up on in this jata, like the crown of a king. And Tulsidas is saying, Rama Rama Rakupati Japata. Japat is to continuously repeat. Rama Rama Rakupati. He is continuously repeating the name of Sri Ram. You see, no moment is wasted. He's thinking of Prabhu Sri Ram, when will my Sri Ram come? And he's sitting there singing his praises, calling his name, singing his name. Sravata Nayan Jala Jalat. Nayan is the eyes. Sravata Nayan Jala Jalat. Raining from his eyes copiously as he sings the name of Sri Ram. His eyes are watering. Tears of love. Now there are two kinds of tears. Tears they are hot sometimes, and then at other times they are cool. When you are in great difficulties, when you are experiencing pain and agony, when you cry, that tear is hot. But when you are in the ecstasy, the joy of bliss, of happiness, of spirituality, and you cry, that tear is cooling. And that is the tears that rain copiously from the eyes of the saints and sages in their deep meditation, as indeed Bharat is expressing here this evening. So, Sant Tulsidas tells us in Chaupai. Hare देखत हनुमान अति हर्षेउ पुलकेउ गात लोचन जल बरसेउ. Hanuman is looking at Bharat. He sees Bharat's eyes are all filled with tears streaming down his cheeks. And Hanuman is there. He is overjoyed. Tulsidas says, Dekata Hanuman ati harasheva. He is extremely overjoyed. And Pulak gata lochana jala barishevu. His body began to tremble. You know, when your hair stands on end, when you get that kind of feeling, he was so overwhelmed to see here is a devotee of Prabhu Shram that he has forgotten the world completely, but his mind is fully engaged in Sri Rama's devotion. So even the eyes of Hanuman was filled with tears. Tulsidas says, Manamahu bahuta bhati sukamani bole rusavana sudasamabani. With his heart, Hanuman's heart, filled with rapture of love and devotion, experiencing this moment when he sees another devotee like himself, you know, just as Hanuman is a deep and sincere devotee of Prabhu Shram, so too is Bharat. So when one great devotee meets another great devotee, that is indeed a special thrill of joy that wells up within the heart. Hanuman, seeing Bharat in this devotional exercise, he is extremely happy. He himself begins to feel that divinity, that joy, that ecstasy of devotion and bhakti. So he said, Manamahu bahuta bhati sukamani bole ustavana sudasamabani. With his heart filled with rapture, with devotion, he addressed Bharat in words sweet as nectar, Sravana Sudasamabani. That is words that are fulfilling, that are beautiful, that are soft and winning. That is how he addressed Bharat. Bharat doesn't know anything yet. Now he awakens Bharat from that deep meditation. What does he say? Tulsidas tells us in Chopai. Chahu Dinarati, Ratahu Nirantara Guna Ganapati. Here now, Hanuman voice comes out and he saying, Jasu Birahaso Chahu Dinarati, that person in whose absence day and night you grieve for. He says, Ratahu Nirantara Gunapati. He says, he in whom you are continuously repeating his name. You are talking of his virtues in your mind. You are narrating the virtues of Prabhu Shri Ram. He says, Raghukula Tilak, so that Raghukula Tilak means the glory of the house of Raghu. Referring to Prabhu Shri Ram. That is how he is represented here. Raghukula Tilak, the joy or the glory of the house of the Raghus. He is from the Raghus dynasty. And amongst all of them in that dynasty, that lineage, Sri Ram holds a very special place. You know, sometimes in a home, you have many children. But one of them stands out specifically. And when you refer to that particular person, you say, he's a gem in that house. That is Prabhu Shri Ram. Raghukula Tilak. So he says, he is the glory, Prabhu Shri Ram. He is the delight of the faithful. All those who are in devotion, he is their ultimate end. That Prabhu Shri Ram. And he is the deliverer. Ayahus Kusala Deva Munitrata. Deva Munitrata is the deliverer of the gods and the sages. Dev, the gods, the sages. So he says that he is the delight of the faithful and the deliverer of the gods and sages. He said he is on his way. The moment he heard that he is on his way, Bharata woke up. He gets renewed vigor, renewed energy. That is what he wanted to hear. Remember he was saying, when will he come? He's thinking. You know, if you have a very close friend who has been abroad for many, many years, you haven't seen him for a long time, and he writes you and says, I'm coming on the 20th of whatever month, right? So, the moment you get that, you're so anxiously awaiting his coming. And when the day comes, prior to the actual day, you all think you can't sleep, you're waiting. And even though you know he's coming, you feel happier if somebody will tell you, you know, Mr. X is coming tomorrow. And you can't sleep for the night and you're waiting. Even 5 minutes before, how has he not reached yet? So the mind is in this kind of anxiety. So it was the same kind of anxiety that Bharat is expressing and feeling. When will my Sri Ram come? When? So when he got this news that he is on his way, Tulsidas tells us further in the Chaupai. Tripurana Jiti Sujasu Suragawat Sita Anuja Sahita Pura Awat. The voice continues, Hanuman voice, saying that Sri Ram has conquered the foe in battle, that is Ravan. With the gods, and the gods are all hymning his praises. And the Lord is now on his way to the city with Lakshman and Sita. But he couldn't get any better news than that. How does he respond when he gets this news? That is Bharat. This voice is thundering from behind him. That person for whom you have been singing all the praises is now on his way. He has conquered Ravan and he is on his way with Lakshman and Sita. Sunata Bachana Bisare Dukkha Dukkha. Sunata Bachan. Having listened to the words, Bisare Sabid, all his problems went away. He forgot all his sorrows. That is what he wanted to hear. Imagine the state of anxiety that he was in. He's crying, he's weeping because his Lord is absent. And now that he gets that news, Tulsidas says, the moment he heard those words that Sri Ram is coming, all his problems went. If you are in difficulties and you get the message that the Lord is coming your way, that help is coming, if you don't think of the Lord, let's say you are in a real predicament, somebody is coming to relieve you of that, how would you feel? And imagine how much more will that feeling be multiplied if you have the divine coming your way. So he says, Krisha wanted to be powerful. So he gives a little analogy. He says, it's like a thirsty man who finds a stream of nectar. Imagine you are in the hot desert. You don't have water. Lo and behold, you reach a pond where there is water. Imagine your feeling. And you drink and you slake your thirst and you are happy. Say that is how he felt. Like he was in great thirst for seeing his beloved Sri Ram. Now that you have given that, you have softened, you have quenched my thirst, so to speak. My thirst, my longing for my beloved Sri Ram. So, Tulsidas, now Bharat replies. What does Bharat say when he got this news? Tulsidas tells us. Who are you, my friend? Kahan se, and from where have you come? Bharat, having listened to the message, now says, he doesn't know who it is. Who are you, my friend? And from where have you come? Mohi parama priya bachana swa. Priya bachan means beautiful words. It says, you have filled my heart with beautiful words. This message that you have brought has filled my heart. He said, most welcome is this news that you have brought me. So he says, Maruta Sutta Mai Kapi Hanuman, Maruta Sutta. He says, I am the son of the wind. I am a monkey Kapi, and my name is Hanuman. Maruta Sutta Mai Kapi Hanuman. My name is Hanuman. And he says, Nama Mora Sunu Kripanidhana, Kripanidhana, ocean of grace. So he's saying here, I am the son of the wind, a monkey, and my name is Hanuman. He said, listen, Sunu, Sunu, listen. Listen, O fountain of mercy, Kripanidhan. Listen, O fountain of mercy. You see how he addresses it? O fountain of mercy. That's how Hanuman addresses her. I am the son of the wind. And he continues in Chaubai. So he introduces himself. Now he elaborates a little more on his relationship with Prabhu Shri Ram. Tulsidas tells us in Chaubai.